one of the reasons why a school could feel full, but the school owner doesn't have that much in the bank account at the end of the month when it's all said and done.
Too busy doing busy stuff instead of somebody needs to be thinking about, well, what's going to happen next when we do this? What's next?
The business is the direct reflection of you as an individual and your limitations, your lid, and your thought processes. Hey guys, welcome back to the Jennifer Waters podcast. I have my amazing co-host, my father, Tommy Siegler, that's joining us. We have a fire podcast in store for you guys today because we're diving into why schools could feel full, but their bank account doesn't feel full. We've had school owners approach us, feel like, hey, I've got over 100 students, but it just feels like a grind, and I'm not getting paid the amount I should be paid. And we also, for the school owners who are just on the opposite side, maybe you really want, I had a school owner the other day that told me I would just die if I had 15 students, because she was just starting off.
What did she teach?
I don't know at a particular time because we were just in a group of different school owners, but she was just starting. She had 5 students.
Okay.
And so, in her mind, she was like, oh my gosh, that's 3 times the amount of students that I have right now. So how do I get to that point? So I think we definitely need to have a conversation around both. From your perspective in the schools that we coach, what do you see as one of the reasons why a school could feel full, but the school owner doesn't have that much in the bank account at the end of the month when it's all said and done?
Everybody's too busy. Too busy doing the busy stuff. And that's the problem. If you don't have a team, if you're a solopreneur, if you're just one or two of you, like there was just me and you and Rebecca in the beginning, you got to have people that are doing different things, because if everybody's trying to do the same thing, you're not going to get anything done because everybody's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You got to split up the work so that you can make it function better. Well, that's a good one right there. It's just, too busy doing busy stuff instead of somebody needs to be thinking about, well, what's going to happen next when we do this? What's next?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think? Is it the busy, or is it just people are, well, that would probably think busy too, but people are just too concerned about making money and just don't know how?
Well, the way that I was describing it the other day, and I think a lot of people fall in this, is that everybody knows there's certain ingredients that you need to be putting in as far as effort, your curriculum, your marketing, your sales. I think everybody generally knows you need all these different ingredients.
Well, we didn't.
You did, because you knew that we needed to get the word out. You used to say that all the time. We got to get the word out, well, what is the word? How do we get the word out? That's a whole different story. But, so I think generally people know that there's ingredients. Like to bake a cake. That there's flour, there's milk, there's eggs, there's sugar. But there might be some other ingredients that you didn't even think about because you're not in that world all the time. So you don't think about all the other pieces of the cake that has to go in. And the main thing that gets people stuck is that they don't have a recipe. And because they don't have a recipe, they spend so much time in the kitchen trying to bake the perfect cake, but with the wrong ingredients or in the wrong order or for the wrong duration or even in the wrong size pan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so that's one of the first things that we see. We have clients all the time. I had a client named Glenn. He came in and he was starting from scratch. So math tutor, came into this new business. He had already kind of been a math tutor and stuff like that. Opened a brand new business. And he didn't want to figure out and be in the kitchen for the next 3 to 5 years figuring this out. So that's why he joined us.
Smart guy.
Yeah, and when he did, within the first 30 to 45 days, following the recipe, he added on 9 new students. Just 9 new students in the first 45 days. He's already making money. He's already recouping his investment that he's made, because those students are going to stay with him, not just for 1 or 2 months. They're staying with him for a year. Wow. So it's because he was able to launch so fast, not because he had a dirt cheap offer. It's because he had a recipe and he just followed it. And I think that that's a big reason. But I also see, and I like your take on this, some people, especially the ones that maybe they already have 50, 75, 100 students, because I speak to a lot of those school owners too.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if you're running like a private school, you might have less students than that. But it just feels like you've hit a ceiling and you can't get past it. And so I feel this, but again, like your perspective on this, I think some people are just, they don't say it, but maybe they're afraid of the future. Did you feel like that a little bit when we were kind of like, oh, we're at a ceiling?
No, I didn't feel like that because I've never been afraid to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just do it. Maybe I'm not smart enough to be afraid.
No.
I know a lot of my friends would probably say, yeah, that's him. That's him.
You're just
not,
like jumping off the bridge into the water, not knowing how deep it is.
Yeah, well, there's water down there. So that's, what was it again?
I mean, I just think that some people are just afraid of what if they are successful?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, well, if I go this direction, I am successful. Oh my gosh, like almost like afraid to get to that next level. So they end up kind of staying in this plateau range.
Well, yeah, that's a couple of reasons. One is what John Maxwell calls the law of the lid.
Mm.
You can't get any higher than where you are because you're not investing in growing yourself, you're growing your knowledge. In other words, I didn't study just one martial arts style. I studied several and got really good at all of them because I stayed in them long enough to learn what I needed to learn.
Yeah.
So the same thing. You have a business, no matter what kind it is, you have to constantly be in a room where you're not the smartest person. You're there to learn from the people who've been there, mm-hmm. and you got to learn from them. Now, you can be in a room full of people with lots of different businesses that they do different things from you. But as it's been said several times, business is business. And I've used to think, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, what it means is the principles of business are the principles of business. You have to be able to understand what that P&L is and how to read it and how to be able to know what your profit is at the end. You have to know those things. You don't have to be an expert at them, but you have to have a knowledge of them. That's why we have a fractional CFO who does all that stuff and keeps us out of trouble because we may not know where we're going because of where the money's going. Mm. But you may have people like that just don't understand necessarily what they don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I could see that.
Yeah. So and then that's one, and then you have the other side of this is people just they don't want to know more. They think they already know it. They just think this is it. I can make my own decisions. I'm a grown up. I don't need somebody else to teach me anything because I already know enough. They're just knuckleheads. Just knuckleheads. That's all they are. They don't know what they don't know, but there's millions of them out there. They just don't want to. You know, it's kind of well, I've got to where I want to be. I can never do that. I can never learn to do that because I'm just who I am. That's that fixed mindset. You can't be no better than you are. The growth mindset says, you know what? I can learn that. If they can do it, I can do it. And that's the difference. That's the difference between me. I had to grow into that because I had a fixed mindset, and I had to change the way I thought and get into that growth mindset and start learning stuff. I mean, look at me. I'm almost 70, and I'm doing AI. It's crazy. It's insane. Everybody else that I know close to my age, I've heard some of my friends say in the past, no, I don't want to do that stuff. You know, it's just not, you know, I can't learn it. You can't learn it. You can read, can't you? You can read, you can learn it. And if you don't know what you can do and you can find somebody else that's smarter than you, I ain't got time to mess with those kind of people. There you go. There's the problem right there. They don't want to learn more. Mm-hmm. They're in their little comfort zone, and they're going to stay there. So what about you? What are your theories on that?
And why people stay like stuck in the lid?
Stuck. Other than they're just stupid.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily that they're stupid. I don't think this audience is, like sitting out there going, I'm stupid. The people that are listening to this are going to be trying to implement and grow and stuff like that.
That's right. But the other people aren't.
Right. I think the people that are, there's two types of people. There's the people that take action, and there's the people that blame others, right?
You got about it.
So, we see this all throughout society. There's victims. There's that victim mindset. Everything happens to me, instead of saying everything happens either for me or because of me. Because of me is an even different level. You can say everything happens for me. Okay, that's great. Everything's working itself out, but everything happens because of me is a completely different level. We call that extreme ownership.
Yeah.
And so basically it says that the business is the direct reflection of you as an individual and your limitations, your lid, and your thought processes. And so if you want your business to look different than it currently does, if you're frustrated with how your business currently looks, your school looks, then the first thing we have to say is that the people that I have and the places that I have them, the way that I'm running my school, the way that I'm running my business is a direct reflection of me. So it's because of me, therefore I can change it if I change me and how I'm operating in my business. And some people will make the shift from it happened to me, victim, to it happened for me, positive attitude, to it happened because of me, extreme ownership. Those people really scale fast because they get out of the whole trying to reason why it happened, why it didn't happen, and they just accept that it happened because of them. Like, you don't spend all this time going, oh, well, maybe if I would have been this way, or this person wouldn't have said that, it wouldn't have been different. Like, that's all that victim stuff. Or, oh man, I'm watching, not that Tony Robbins is bad or anything, or Ed Milet, but you could really be motivated by those guys.
Oh yeah.
And it's happening for me. It's going to be the best year ever. Like, I'm in that positive mindset.
Yeah.
But I have to ramp myself up to get into that.
Yeah, you do.
But if you just go, well, it happened because of me, and you take extreme ownership, extreme responsibility, like Jocko. I mean, that whole expression comes from the book, Extreme Ownership with Jocko Willink. When you step into that, you eliminate all this back and forth decision making that you have to do about all these other things. And it just becomes about making changes and just doing it and removing the emotion around making those changes.
That's a whole can of worms right there. I mean, you can get emotionally involved in everything that happens, and that's where you end up either blaming yourself because you didn't do what you were supposed to do, or blaming someone else, or just getting frustrated with everything and just want to quit. Think about this. You already got life going on outside of this business aspect.
Yeah.
And all of that, it's not separate. You can't separate it. There is no separation of work and life. Therefore, no separation between work-life balance. That's a whole...
That'll be a different podcast. Different episode. But for right now, the reasons why people are stuck, kind of going back to that, I think it's because of the way in which they approach the work to be done.
Yes.
And when you just go, okay, well, I'm here because of me, but I can also get out of where I am because of me. It gives you a lot more freedom, I think.
Yeah, and discipline.
Well, there's that. You have to develop that discipline, yes.
You got to go, okay, it's 6 o'clock, and I got 2 hours left on this, and I'm in the zone. I just took a break. I'm going to quit, and then I'll have to get back into it tomorrow. But inside your head, you're going, it's going to take me an hour to get back into the zone where I am now, so I can't quit. I got to keep moving. And then 2 hours later, you get it done, and whatever you're going to do just goes by the wayside. But the next day, you're starting fresh, maybe on another aspect of what you were doing. So that once again is just discipline in doing something and sticking with it and moving through the pain instead of letting the pain, whatever that pain is, the pain of not being able to go meet some friends or something like that, to go see a movie or eat dinner or something. Yeah. And just instead of just texting them, can't make it tonight, sorry, boom, let it go.
Continuing,
Yeah, because you've got I mean, they're not trying to run a business. They're your buddies.
Mm-hmm.
But you are, so what's more important? Both of them are important, but for you to live your life to the fullest for you and your family, your friends have got to come second,
right,
third, fourth, fifth, somewhere on that line, but you're
mm-hmm.
going to still have them.
Yeah.
So,
and I think the other thing that stops a lot of school owners, because we're talking about what if your school is full but your bank account's not full. Well, that basically is saying, all right, well, I have students, but the money that I'm making is not there at the end of the month. Mm. And so there's really two levers that I'm always seeing, because we've had people go through, we have a school audit that we've recently done, and we've had hundreds of school owners go through this audit. By the way, it's free. If you want the audit, just go DM me on Instagram at @JenniferWaters and type the word audit.
Audit.
And it will take you through every aspect of your school or academy. And not only tell you what you might be missing, because it will tell you that, but it's also but it's also going to tell you where your biggest levers are. If you pull that lever, you can close the gap on the revenue that you're missing. So definitely, I would head over to Instagram, type the word audit to Jennifer Waters. But what I've noticed is that people that do have full schools, there's two reasons that their school is full but their bank account is not.
Wait a minute, are we going to tell them now?
I am. We're gonna talk about it. You and I are gonna talk about it. The first one, the first primary reason is because their pricing is not right.
Yes,
so they're undercharging. And people feel successful when they see how many people are in their school or around them. They feel like, oh, I'm making it. But that's really a vanity metric, because the amount of bodies that you have there doesn't dictate whether or not you're successful. The only measurement that matters in business, and some people are going to just hate me in the comments.
But
it's
true. It's
eat
true.
me alive in the comments.
Let them do it.
Bring it on.
The algorithm works better.
The only reason that a business should exist, and the only number that says a business is winning, is profit.
Yeah.
That's it. How much money do you have left over at the end of the month? That is the number. It's not the top line. It's not how much revenue. It's how much you keep, which brings me to the second piece. So first piece is undercharging. Second piece is that they have no clue where the money's going. They have no idea where it's going. They know it comes in, but they're not tracking how it goes out. And so what happens is, in your mind, you've brought in this money. So it's, okay, let's go buy this equipment, or let's go on this trip. Or I even had school owners in the past that were buying groceries out of their business bank account and paying for their rent out of their business bank account for their personal stuff. And they weren't keeping track of it.
Yeah, there's the key. Now, there's nothing wrong with that when you've got a small business. You know, you've just got your basic business. You can do that because everything flows through anyway.
Technically, if you get with an accountant,
they'll tell you different.
Do not do that. And
no, you don't want to do it.
This is not financial or tax advice.
No, by
you should
any
go
means.
seek that out on your own. But after years of experience of working with many different accountants and many different school owners, you should have two completely separate accounts.
Yes.
And you should transfer from your business to your personal. Yes, it's a flow-through entity, but you should be doing that, because if you don't, you're opening yourself up to an audit of your entire business. And they can go back years. Yeah. So let's say you stop doing it today, but 10 years, well, let's just say 7 to 10, something like that. Let's say 5 years in the future you get audited. They're pulling it all back.
Yeah.
And then they're looking at that. So anyway, I think that this is a big reason. I know that there was a big evolution for us and for you on what like tracking and numbers and stuff like that, because when we really started getting in control of that is when we really started seeing profit and focusing on that. For the school owner that might be out there, that this feels to them like, oh, I'm just not, I'm not good at numbers. I'm not a math person. I don't want to hire an accountant to keep track of this. What do you say to that person? Because you've been in those shoes.
Yeah, you got to learn to grow. That's the simplest thing I can say. If you don't want to change, you want to stay where you are, then you're going to have to stay where you are, but you're not getting anywhere else. Because you have to be able to see where you're going. if you have no pathway, you have no map, you have no vision of where you want to be, how many students, no matter what kind of thing you're teaching you want, how big your business, how big you want it to be, if you don't have steps that you can take to get there, then it's not going to happen. And you got to be able to see where that money is going to make that happen. That's a biggie.
And a practical step is just take your last 90 days and look at it. Like, what did you spend money on?
Yeah, and if you go 90 days, oh my gosh, that's less, what is that? That's 3 months. I have no idea. Well, just start now. What did you buy today? What did you go to Starbucks 10 times?
Yeah.
Or did you spend that? How much pain is it going to cause you to just get in your phone and open a thing and just put down how much money you spent today? Here's even a better thing. Why don't you get a sheet of paper, and at the end of the day, when you're finished with your business, write in how much money you brought in that day. If you're not keeping track of nothing, then that's a great way to start, because it lets you know, hey, man, I took in $500 today. Mm-hmm. And I love that. And now, how much did you spend today? Oh, when all those bills came in, it was $800. Oh, you got a $300 deficit right there.
Yeah.
Did you know that? I don't know if I want to know that. You do want to know it. You want to know the pain and you want to know the gain. You got to have both of those. If you don't, then you won't know how to catch up. You got to keep score. It's like a basketball game or a football game. They don't go on the court or on the field and play for however long they play and just walk off and say, that was fun.
Right. They're keeping
score.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, or when the buzzer goes off or whatever goes off, they won or they won. There's no, maybe they tied. Right?
Yeah.
That happens sometimes. But
they're still keeping score.
They're keeping
otherwise
score.
They wouldn't have known.
If you're not wanting to keep score, what are you doing running a business?
And some people get into this. I think maybe that's the third thing too.
Yes.
Some people kind of get into this and stumble into running a school. And that was
yes, that was me.
Kind of stumble into it because you're passionate, and then somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, you're really good. Can you teach me what you know?"
Yeah.
And then they want to pay you for it, and so you randomly set a price.
Right.
And usually it's tied to what you feel your time is worth. So if you've ever been an hourly employee, you just like, well, I earned this much in my job, so if I'm going to do an hour, then this is how much I charge. But that's not how you should price anyway. And then you end up in a situation where maybe your school is full, but you have no money. Like it would surprise you and probably some of the viewers, and maybe you're one of them that's out there right now, how many school owners that I meet where the first thing that they'll do when they introduce themselves is they'll come in, and I'm just going to use an extracurricular activity like martial arts or music or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, I've got 150 students. And I'm like, wow, that's great. How much are you bringing in per month? And they'll tell me like $8,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month. And I'm like doing the math, and I'm, what? Like I can't afford to charge more in my area. And granted, they might not be able to charge more in that area.
Yeah.
But what they've done is, as they've grown that school, instead of going, I need to charge more so I can get out of this area. Get to a better area where I can charge even more than that. They never create margin for themselves. And then now they're stuck in this cycle that they can't get out of.
Yeah, that's crazy. We have, with our school, we've moved 11 times since we've been in Augusta. Mm-hmm. And we've always moved to a better location.
Yeah.
11 times since 1982, which is it's a long time, but still, we've moved and,
Because the city's adapted.
Yeah, and you
those areas aren't the same anymore.
You have to chase, so to speak. You have to move where the city's moving to. You don't go fishing in a pond that ain't got no fish in it.
Yeah.
You got to go to a bigger pond, or you got to stock the pond. So that's what happened to us. We we weren't charging what we were charging, needed to charge, and we went up on our rent and our
the
tuition, and which the rent wasn't, it was always going up. So you have to move. You have to go to a better place, and you have to invest. And, sometimes, and we were in one location for 15 years, so it's not like we've been jumping from one place to the next place.
Right.
So, and we've been here where we are now for like 4.5, maybe 5.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I think once people can kind of realize, okay, my pricing, my expenses, then they kind of come back to that recipe of, how do I grow? Well, I'm not saying you can't do it. Like, this is also, you and I were having this discussion about curriculum the other day, full transparency. So he's like the Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder of martial arts. Like, he has or Beethoven if you want to use classical music. So, it's in him. Like, it's just in his head, and he can come up with this stuff because of all of his experience and training, and there's so much stuff that he knows that he'll never be able to teach me, just everything that he knows. Like, he just can't get it over to me or the rest of the team because of how much you know. And so sometimes, because of how the highest level of expertise that you have, right? Sometimes it's hard to figure out how to sequence it in a way that someone who hasn't started in martial arts at all would be able to sequentially learn it. And so I think what happens for a lot of people is maybe they go try to connect with someone who's already successful in business. And I know we kind of were doing this for a long time. One of your best friends is Mr. Ray Thompson. He's at a very successful school, home of UFC fighter Stephen Thompson. And as a kid growing up, I would always look at their school because they had 600 students, huge after-school program. Like, they were already doing $1 million a year when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And it, obviously you had a lot of access to him, but it wasn't the same because he wasn't in a position where he was trying to mentor and grow your business.
Right.
And until we got connected with a mentor that was strategically taking all the knowledge that it took from him building his 7-figure businesses and breaking it down into bite-sized pieces, that's when things started changing for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there's a huge difference, right? Like, did you felt the difference, obviously.
Yeah, I felt the difference. I mean, it's like you can go and you teach great classes, but that don't mean that you know how to teach class. And structure it in a way in which you keep people. I mean, there's a difference. I mean, we used to train a couple of hours at a time.
Yeah.
Now, if you can get kids to train 30 minutes at a time, once or twice a week it's a different era, and we have to treat it like that. We have to work within the boundaries that we have. It's the environment that we live in that we have to deal with. So we have to be able to flow with that and be the best you can at it and charge what you're worth, not what you think you could get. Those are two different things. Can we raise tuition $5? You think anyone would, we had those conversations way back in the day. Can we raise tuition $5? And you think anybody would quit? I hope they wouldn't. And, it's like, oh my goodness. And you just you get paralyzed because you don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's happy where they are until you change something. But when you change something, it's for the better of what you're doing, but people are still going to be people. We don't like change in certain areas that we don't like change in. Everybody's like that. But at the same time, you got to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, so. 100%. And if you are trying to change your business, I think the first step is to go do the audit.
Yeah.
Because the audit is going to be able to tell you if you're trying to change your school or your academy. And this is for school and academy owners. So guys, if all of that's making sense and you're like, wow, I need to take action, your next action step is to go to the Jennifer Waters on Instagram, type the word audit, and our team's going to send you over the link to the audit. You'll be able to go all the way through it, figure out what's going on inside of your business. I appreciate all of you guys, but 60% of you aren't even subscribed to this channel. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, throw a like in there. That'll help us a lot, be able to reach more school owners. Yeah. So until next time, we'll see you guys on the Jennifer Waters podcast. Bye.